Hello everybody, my name is Mike Langford. Welcome back to Let's Mix Live, where I'm live streaming some mix sessions in Pro Tools, things down there. Start to finish, hopefully showing you some production techniques to help make your music sound better, your mixes sound better. And there's lots of different ways to get there, lots of different ways to make your music sound better. I'm not here to show you what you should do, but what you could do. We are back. It's part 3, working on Georgia Wonder. It's a duo. Song is called Siren. It's kind of a disco pop tune. I like it. It's very danceable. It's very ABBA. It's very in that ballpark. But yeah, no, I've been enjoying this so far. See, the chat's got a problem already. Go figure. Hello, world. There we go. Now it's gone. All right, yeah, we started working on this. Where did we get to last time? We discovered... Let's just hop over, actually, right into it here. Patterson's here. What's up with the metal? What's up with the same question over and over and over and over again? Last time we were working on the vocals. We realized a lot of the vocals are printed on this. So we did go over that. We did some... we did EQ for everything. We just basically did some prep for all of the tracks, all the subgroups. So we got quite a bit done, but we haven't done anything on the actual mix bus yet. Which we have, okay, we have our main mix because we have to do that fade out there as well. So that's why we have it there. Anyways, all I've done since then is brought back in our 1 kilohertz test tone. Intro music's good. Brought in our 1 kilohertz test tone to make sure our system is good to go here. Time for the disclaimer. Well, there's two things to mention. Disclaimer, when I'm EQing, be mindful, be very conservative of your listening levels with your studio monitors, with your headphones, or your line array PA system that you may have in your basement. You know who you are. So without further ado, 3, 2, 1. All that sounds good. Looks good over here. It's good to make sure your system is sending what it needs. Always at your speakers as well. Also, because it helps kind of calibrate your system. A question you may have, where do I get these mix sessions from? There's a website called Cambridge Music Technology. There's tons of multi-track recordings on there for educational purposes and entertainment purposes. Hopefully you find this entertaining. But yes, that's where I found it from. They got everything from folk to metal there. So Patterson, if you want to start mixing some metal, you can download some stuff and get mixing. Make those kicks and snares super loud. Yeah, so again, Cambridge Music Technology, if you're watching this on YouTube or watching the replay, down below in the description on YouTube, you'll see the link there. And yeah, highly recommend it if you're a new mixer or you're an experienced mixer as well, because sometimes we get pigeonholed into genres, and if you want to branch out, could be a way to add some stuff to your reel. Also, if you're an engineer, or a new engineer, especially, and you want to hear how some of these sessions get put together, tons of info. Back in my day, the right old age of 27, back in my day, getting your hands on some multi-track sessions. Number 1, your computer probably could not run it. Number 2, none of us had a 2-inch tape machine at our house. Number 3, you just didn't have access to any of this stuff. So the idea of this stuff's all available now to people, especially with home studios, project studios, all over the place now. Fantastic resource. And even on this one, there's some of the stuff that's going on with the acoustic guitars, and even on these 6 guitars down here, hitting one note to create the chord over those 6 tracks. Things like that, you might not know how they got these sounds together, but you can pick through this. So last time, Cambridge Music Technology is the website. Fantastic resource for educational purposes. So, all right, I think I'm through all the disclaimer stuff. I also, okay, I brought in the 1 kilohertz test tone. I also did one other thing too. I brought in a couple samples here. I was going to put them into Trigger so that we could just whip them through fairly quickly, but I did not get to that today. I mentioned before too, with some of the dancier stuff, I like when the kick and snare kind of have a lot in common, and I like when the snare just sounds like a beefier kick drum with a bit of the strainer or the rattle part on the bottom of the snare drum. So there's the kick drum I brought in. Nothing too crazy, but it's a good solid dancey kick drum, and then the snare. Nice and punchy, so I might add, well, I'm going to add those in. That's why I brought them in. So I'm going to just kind of manually put all those samples in. just in case anyone's curious how that goes. Also, shouldn't take that long, he says confidently. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to have a listen through. I'm going to deactivate and hide those and put those off the side there. I'm going to have a listen through, make some new notes. I still have my notes from last time. I did wanted to bring in percussion too, but I think that's going to be, oh yeah, no, because I wanted to, part 4, I want to do some surgery to the song. I think we can chop out like a minute from the song. So maybe that'll kind of be our victory lap on this one, as far as where the mix goes. We'll see where we get to today. Like overall, I think we're going to be pretty good. You know, an hour and a half, 2 hours on this one. So, what was it? Just going through my notes here. Overall looks pretty good. Just a couple of vocal throws I wanted to do. I wanted to add the percussion on second and third chorus. So I may get to that today. All right, let's have a listen through. Let's hear where we are. And I'll make some notes, and I'll mute my microphone so I'm not talking over the whole thing. So again, this is Siren by the duo Georgia Wonder. Sorry, samples. Okay, so from here on out, there's another 3 minutes. It just kind of goes to the breakdown, and then it goes back to the chorus. I'm going to fade it out, Radio DJ style. Because I can, because it's my show. It's quite the fade. I can fade it back in, too. You know who you are. If you like the fade back in. I love this tune. It's great. Patterson's saying, kind of sounds like drunken dubstep. No, it doesn't. I disagree with that. I thought you liked heavier stuff. I like lots of music. To be honest, I like quite a bit of music. Quite a bit of different styles, too. Again, the production on this is excellent. Sonics on this are excellent. Well done. It's the type of you'd hear on Soul Train. You definitely would hear it on Eurovision. I keep joking about that. You have to watch the movie soon. No reason. Okay, so I made my new notes. I'm going to add the kick and snare samples in. I want to work on the two bus because we have nothing going on there, except a little bit of a traffic cop style compressor on there. Again, we're just kind of hitting that, so we'll probably end up rebalancing things again. I want to add some vocal throws, but we'll get that set up in a bit. And then I want to add some percussion to the second and third chorus. I also want to check something quickly, because I forgot to check something quickly. So just give me a second, huh? And just 1 second. Okay, we're good. I just had to check that. It's funny, like I'm like ready to go. I'm ready to go to do this, and then all of a sudden it goes like today. We're supposed to start at 7, and it's like it's 6 o'clock. I get this all set up. And then usually go upstairs, grab something to eat, sit with my lovely wife for a bit, and then come back down here, and all of a sudden it's like 5 to 7. It's like what happened to time? It's one of those things. So let's just get going on the kick and the snare, because we have our trigger snare that's here as well. I'm gonna just rename this. We'll call this Lin kick, and that's our snare down there. I just like these samples. There's a bajillion, and I do mean that, it's a real number. You can look it up. There's a bajillion analog drum machines that have been digitized for our use. So it's kind of difficult to go through all the samples, but like I've gone through a lot of samples, and I just always liked the Lin drum samples. I just always thought they sounded awesome. So this is a longer tune, but we'll see how quickly we can get through this. Now, someone at home right now is probably thinking, why don't you just copy every 4 bars and just blast it through that way? Because it may not work out the way that you think. And also someone might be thinking, why didn't you just put these samples into trigger? And like, I definitely could, but it was a bit of, it slipped my mind. It slipped my mind today. That's what happened. And then I was like, when that last 5 minutes, I was like, oh, I don't know if I have time to do this. I need to look up how to make the samples so that they work in what's it called, in trigger. Also, because of the really, really poor job I've done upgrading my rig from older Pro Tools and older computers, the way that it sits, it's like a lot of my files or folders for things like Slate Trigger and stuff like that. There's like 9 instances on the computer plus the backups and everything. So I kind of have to just keep shoving it into folders and then hope it works when I hit refresh. So I was like, you know what? I'll use this as punishment. So right now, your forearms start to burn a little bit. But we're pretty close to being through this right now. That's what I'll tell myself as we're going through this right now. Patterson, how's your day been going? You drinking Coke or Pepsi today? Got to move my notes here. The angle's weird right now. So if you're wondering how I'm doing this, actually, so I've kind of loaded up the paintbrush with the sample here, and as long as you have this button selected here, this edit keyboard focus, it turns a lot of your buttons on, or a lot of keys on your keyboard into hotkeys. So if you hit P, it'll go up a track. If you hit semicolon, it'll go down a track. If you hit apostrophe, it'll go to the right. If you hit L, it'll go to the left. So that's the way we can kind of quickly zip around here. Also, make sure you have tab to transient selected as well. So when you see a transient here, it'll go to that. If that's not selected, it'll go to the end of the clip. So it's very handy with drums. It's very handy with any waveforms you have that have or any waveforms you have that contain very abrupt transients, such as drums or plosives. This will just take a couple minutes. And again, usually, if I'm mixing by myself, I usually have Walking Dead or X-Files on. I usually do a lot of my editing in the evenings. I do my critical listening in the morning. I do my editing in the evenings when I kind of don't need to listen that much. Also, right now, NHL playoffs. I would also currently have NHL playoffs on. Fortunately, not the Leafs. Fortunately, the Leafs, once again, first round exit. But I don't feel bad about it because the team's pretty good, and not to make excuses or reasons or justify what happened. Tampa Bay, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. Leafs took them to Game 7. And there were some wonky calls. There's nothing worse than hearing American announcers explain to the viewers that a pick and roll is a penalty and not allowed in hockey. Because that happens. Because hockey, you know, hockey's so slow with their sneakers on out there, thinking about, I'm going to get in someone's way. And they're thinking, yeah, I'm going to block them, and then someone's going to skate around and score a goal. And it was Tavares too. He needed it. He really did. Anyways, back to this. Yeah, I'd usually just have something on off to the side. And even with some of the students, I explained to them, like, you don't even need to listen to some of these waveforms when you get used to what they look like. What's going on there? There we go. Because you get used to just seeing what kicks and snares look like. And you can't, like, tell what words are, but you can look at them and kind of see the phrasing with the audio blobs or the waveforms that are there. All right, it's getting to that point where I'm just like, you know, I probably should have put this sample into Trigger, but you know what? Sometimes we need to punish ourselves as a reminder. Then we think we have an hour to prep for something. An hour might not be enough. Patterson's saying, drinking Pepsi. iPhone had an update today. Interesting. I've not been an iPhone user since 2017, I think. All right, so the kick's in. So we're just going to grab the snare here. Same thing. This could be less because those kicks are on every quarter, basically. And this should be on every other. So there should technically be half. So I don't think there's any drum fills or anything in this song. Say with Apple products, I'm really looking forward to, because I'm like, shameless plug, I do like video games and I do have a gaming channel as well, but I'm really into where VR is going, and I'm really excited to finally, hopefully in the near future, see what Apple has for their VR headset. Because I'm a firm believer the M1 chip, the architecture of that is going to play a part in their VR headset. And the M1 chip is awesome. For how cool it runs and how powerful it is and how much better it is, utilizing RAM and stuff like that. Oh, we fell off the planet. There we go. So I'm curious to hear when that comes out. and see if Meta, aka Facebook, can figure stuff out. Also, there was a demo for the Unreal 5 engine today. I saw on Twitter and kind of went on a rant about VR to a buddy on the weekend. And when I saw the engine, the Unreal 5 engine demo stuff, and I'm just like, look at this. Like, just imagine when this is in the headset, it's going to be ridiculous. And he's like, we'll never have to leave our house. And I'm just like, that's what Zuckerberg wants. He wants us to never leave our house. Which, the way things are going, you know, the irony of living in a first world country and having the privilege of never having to leave your house because the metaverse is better. But also on that tip too, concerts. Bands have to set up these massive elaborate stage setups and stuff like that. But imagine they can build their stage setup in the metaverse. And they could do a lot of super cool stuff in there. You want dragons? Imagine Dragons could actually have dragons. Trying to think of some other band names where they could actually have those things. Imagine Dragons is the first one that came to mind because, like, dragons are still cool. I'm still at that age. Dragons and ninjas, still cool. Don's here. How's it going, Don? Patterson, why not Apple's the way to go? Apple is not the way to go if you just need to use your phone for Twitter and Facebook and pictures. Android, unfortunately, is the way to go. All right, so the kick and snares are in. Rant's not too bad. I think it only took maybe 15 minutes to do that. But it would have taken about the same amount of time to put those into Trigger. Again, our Lindrum samples here, so I need to put our outputs onto bus 1 and 2. So I'm holding Shift and Option. You can see them switch down there. I'm going to bring the volumes down on those because it usually puts it back at Unity. So it's all the way up there. So let's just do a gigantic mute. Just mute the world here for a second. Everybody mute. And we're just going to listen to our drums. Oh, we put our whatchamacallits, our effects on here. We were messing around with it. Oh, because we had the delay on the hi-hats there too. Don said, I heard the camera's amazing. Well, the camera's amazing on a lot of phones right now. And it's funny how our phones, it's more about the camera. All right, give me 1 second here. That's what I wanted. Hopefully it's not super close to the other one. No, it's not. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I can feel it. I can actually feel that above my top teeth and under my eyes. I'm taking that as a good thing. This sample is super loud. Like it's pretty much pinned here, but I'm not worrying about it. I'm buying that. Now our Lindrum sample was this. Oh, it's so splattery. Yeah. Both of those, okay, I'm going to make a bold decision here. Those trigger tracks. Hide and inactive. Goodbye. I'm liking the Lin samples. Don needs to change the headset. I'm buying that a lot. All right, let's have a look at. We're hitting our mix compressor, our drum compressor, pretty hard there. That's fine. I think it's going to be good. If I'm wrong, that's okay. I've been wrong before. I'm going to get in some dangerous water here for a second. Don't do as I do. Just watch what I do. liking that. See, those kick and snare samples for me, like they're so much tighter. One of the things I picked up, and I'm not always saying I do this, but if your drums are wrong, it's gonna sound wrong. If your drums are right, it's gonna sound right. But I like how the drums are sounding better already. All right, I'm buying that. I'm feeling that. All right, I need to hop out of the headphones for a bit because I want to listen on my NS10s. I also have my little USB speaker here, but I want to do some balancing, and I also want to work on the main mix bus for a second because I think there's just some stuff. Like I like so many of the sounds. Don's saying sounds much better. My headset, that is. Well, again, there's headphones, speakers, whatever you're listening on. It's good. It's good that it sounds good. That's good. All right, I'm going to hop out for a second. I just want to listen and work on the main mix bus over here. Again, I have everything. I never rename my buses, but I have a main mix bus here so that we can go through this as our main mix bus. And that still goes to our master fader here. So we can do a fade out on this properly. If we don't fade out past all these effects and compressors and stuff, it's going to affect what they're seeing. So we want to make sure we go through that first, and then we can do our fade out on the master fader there. Hopefully that makes sense. It should make sense when you see it. All right, be back.
Just give in, there's no getting away from me.
Okay, I'm back. I'm back. I've been keeping an eye on the chat. I don't know what's going on in the chat anymore. It's just a conversation going on between two people. I see something about Teddy. I imagine that's Teddy Ruxpin. Is that what it was? I remember the Teddy Ruxpin was. How did you spell the Teddy Ruxpin doll? But it had the one where you could put the cassette in the back and it would like talk, and then you'd put Guns N' Roses Use Your Illusion in there or something like that, and then it would be way cooler. Way cooler. Don's saying pick a metal song and send it. That could be a thing too. Be a scary thing. Scary thing. Again, I have a short list of lots of songs from that site, from Cambridge Music Technology site, that I want to get through. All right, what was I doing? I was doing some rebalancing. Brought over just an EQ. I've done nothing to it right now. A little bit of saturation on this J37 tape machine here. You see me messing around with the wow. Wow is the pitchiness of it. How fast that's what I'm looking for. How fast it spins. Let's go with that. Just the speed of the actual tape on the reels. How fast they're spinning. If it speeds up, it's gonna drag the waveforms quicker across the tape head there. So the quicker it is, the quicker those waveform goes, the higher the pitch. The slower it is, the pitch goes down. So that is one function of it. And then, so that's what wow is. Wow is the pitchiness of it. Flutter is how much pressure the tape has against the actual tape head. So if it's going back and forth, the pressure is not consistent, it's going to mess with the volume of it. So that's what they do. I like to mess around with the wow a little bit. I don't know, it adds something for me. And I usually add a little bit of saturation from it as well. It can actually add noise too, if you want that. Nice and noisy. Let's not have any of that. We're past that. Powder says, I feel like I'm some kind of ride right now and it appears to be kind of... Well, they might be old expired Pepsi. You never know. You thought you had a good deal, but you didn't check the best before date on it. A lot can go downhill real fast. Real fast. Gotta check that. Yes, I did that. I was messing around with the top end frequency of the kick and snare samples we brought in. Just try to make them, just not say blend them a bit more, but I like them to sound like pretty round. For what I'm going for here. Just a little bit of rebalancing. Brought some effects back over. So what I wanted to do, because I had this mono lead, do something on here. I thought there may be some modulation effect could be on that there. So let's I can be in headphones for this. Oh, creepy vocals too. I think that was modulation effects. So let's open some of these vocals up here. Just hold Option and drag down under the Teddy Ruxpin. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. But you know, I never assume I'm gonna be right. Even with my track record and statistics, I never assume I'm going to be right. So let's have a listen to this. It's a lot of effects on there. So what I was thinking on this one, we could probably put some flanger, phaser, or something on that one. Like a really slow phaser. I think we can So a little bit of that sauce on there, and I think we can probably filter it a little bit too. So we'll just put a pretty aggressive low pass, pretty aggressive high pass. I mean, pretty aggressive is as aggressive as it can go. We can either make it cooler or ruin it, but because it's all non-destructive, you can always just undo it. Speaking of, I should probably save today because I have not saved as a new one. I will do that right now. We're still not into like our mix territory yet. We're still mix prep, putting the stuff together. And there's this one. What is this one? I think they're both kind of the same-ish. I was definitely feeling the effects of the effects before we left last time, I think. I think we can add some more sauce on this one. What do we want to do in this one? See what Flanders got in store today. I buy that. We can do something with that. I buy that. I'm buying that. Let's ruin it. I'm able to widen this now. Maybe not. You gotta stop me if I'm adding this much effects. Bring this over. Don's just grooving. I hear ya. All of these loops. Okay. Yeah, that one. That knocking sound in that loop, it bugs me, and I wish I could do something. Wish I could do something about it. I can't, though. Not a quitter. I'm a realist. All right, there's a couple more things I wanted to poke around at. There was the sitar, because like the sitar's in there, and I kind of wanted to see if we could do something with it. So when someone's like, "Hey, what's that? What's that right there?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a sitar," and then they'd be like, "That's a sitar?" Yeah. I think we can just. If you just hold Option and click and drag, you can bring over effects really easily. I got an idea. Okay, so 19 times out of 20, when you're running your delays and reverbs, you want to run them in parallel. You want to have your dry signal and you want to have your wet signal. Wet signal is the effects. That's the spice. So you keep your dry signal where it is and you add your effects underneath it on an aux. So you bust it over to where your effects are, your delay or reverb, and then bring it up. Unless we want to change the sound, then we want to run it in series. You want to have your sound, have your effect, and then run the sound after. Just like if you're EQing or compressing something, we want to change the sound. So it's sound, EQ or compression, and then what comes out of that. But I'm hearing like a delay thing we can try on this. So this is one of those moments where not moments, but occasions, I would say, let's try to put our effect, our delay effect right on the track because I want to change it. So we have a stereo effect on here. I want to put a eighth note on one side and a dotted eighth on the other. So it'd be an eighth note plus a 16th note. This may sound like trash. This may sound like absolute garbage. Also need to run this at 50%. Need to run this, say 30. That's the idea. Katie's here. How's it going, Katie? Just a little twinkle in the background there. And with reverb. So just a little something like that, but let's try quarter notes and dotted eighth. A little bit of a pulse. I don't know. I think I like the eighth and the dotted eighth. Don says it's gonna be a trippy sitar. It is. Usually don't go this far into the deep end with the sitar, but let's do it today. And Pro Tools in. I'm feeling that. I like it. It's like one of those things though, like if you're driving, you technically through like world law, you're in charge of the stereo, so I'm in charge of the stereo right now, so I'm driving. Okay, I'm going to try one more thing here. What time is it? It's 5 after 8. We're good. I'm going to try one more thing here. See if it works today. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Vox. Let's call it Vox Ghost. Vox Ghost is a good word for it. Doesn't I like the remote? Sorry, like the remote in charge. Exactly. Someone gets up to go to the kitchen for something, and then you run in. Change it for a second. Because the game's on. Okay, what are we going to do here?
Just give in.
All right, so I'm going to try something I haven't done in a while. What we're going to do is copy that.
Just
I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it on this Vox Ghost track down here, and it's not going to let me because it's a stereo track. This doesn't need to be a stereo track. I can change this. So I'm going to delete that. Don't worry, I'm not going to edit this out of the full video. It's not how I roll. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to delete that. So we have this, just this little snippet down here. I'm going to do a quick fade on it, just in case, and then I'm going to double click that. I'm going to Shift Command 3 to consolidate it. So what I'm going to do,
just give in.
what I'm going to do is reverse this. I haven't done this in a while. I'm going to reverse this, so it's going to sound like this. And yeah, and you know, probably a few decades ago, there'd be some people that'd be lobbying and protesting, saying that this is evil messages. So what we're going to do is another one of those cases. I'm going to put the effect, or spice effect, right on here. I'm going to put let's do Steverb, because we just need a really long tail for. We just need a really long tail of a reverb here. Let's make that a little bit longer. 7 seconds sounds good. We'll try that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that and we're going to commit that, and it should put the track underneath it. I haven't done this in a while. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to reverse this again. If I can remember. There it is. Oh, it was already there. It's already there. So you might be wondering, if you reverse something and then reverse it again, you can probably guess what happens. Okay, so what I want is this part to kind of start there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to consolidate that so that it's all in time. I know you can do absolute grid or relative grid, sorry, but just how I roll today. I'm going to reverse this and bring this back. We'll see if it works the way that I wanted it to. It might sound like trash, but I had an idea we can kind of blend into a couple of these sections here. So what I'm going to do is make a new playlist here, because the other one's going to have like the original, so we can actually make this other track. We'll call this .dry. Just in case there's other ones we want to use this for. And I'm going to cut that, go up to here. Might sound like trash, may not, who knows? I'm going to pull this over. So we want to just delete all of that. I still have tab to transient on, so I can get rid of that. So there's a couple different ways. It's times like this too when you have the band in with you and they're like, what are you doing? And you're like farting around with something. You're like, no, it might be cool. It might be cool. And it's like, if you don't nail it like the first time, then you're like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. days it's cool. The reverb tail might be a little bit extreme.
Just give in. Just give. Just give. Just give. Just give. Just give. Just give in.
Not so much today. I can bail on this because I had it in my head. I'm like, yeah, it might be kind of cool, but I don't think we need it because there's the filtering of the drums and stuff and the dropout. So sometimes we try it, sometimes we don't. Usually we try it and realize after if we don't want to do it. Don saying the band needs to be patient and let the dude knows what's he's. Let the dude who knows what he's doing. Well, that's the thing. It's really easy to not look like you know what you're doing, and it's really easy to not know what you're doing and look like you know what you're doing when you're mixing stuff. I can say that confidently, because it's one of those things. It's very much the destination and not the journey when it comes to submitting stuff. It's not how you get there. It's just that you got there. That being said, and I say one of the rules I live by. It's not my quote. God forbid you become known for something that doesn't come natural to you. It's good to know sort of how you got there. It's good to know what the map sort of was, but sometimes it's not pretty how you get there. Because some mixes come together really quick and other mixes are just like, what is going... Did my ears break? Did something happen? Something wrong with the trackball? Like, is it me? Is it humid? What is going on? Okay, I tried that. Not really feeling it. Overall, feeling good about this. Overall. 2 more things I wanted to do here. See if we can get... I'm going to bring in an instrument track. And we're going to call those TAMs. Now, with the instrument track, it kind of does some routing in the background. So when you're bringing in MIDI instruments, you can just throw the MIDI on there. Again, my rule is I can't bring any of my templated stuff in, but I can use presets. If I could spell, so I'm going to bring in Contact here. Now I have a thing called Shimmer, Shake, Strike. Oh man, this is going to be embarrassing if I don't know how to load this without. There we go. So I used to put in all of my percussion stuff by hand. I would shake on the shaker and tam on the tam. But with this, you kind of don't have to. So let's mess around with this. This is one of my favorite programs. It did save me a lot of time. A lot of music, folk, rock, metal, everything. I always find in the choruses having some shakers and tambourines helped. Just helped raise the energy, a little bit of glue from everything. So, all right, see if I remember what to do using Shimmer, Shake, Strike. Also, what I would normally have is my MIDI keyboard, but my laptop's beside me, a laptop with my keyboard that still doesn't work on it because I've not had time to take it into the shop to get it repaired. It's really hard to type with the E, R, T, Y, and U letters. Really difficult. Really difficult. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to go into Notes, and we're just going to draw some stuff in here. Let's get our pencil tool. And we'll just draw a little something in here. Actually, I'm going to go into grid mode so that it's actually in time. But you'll see what's going on in a second. As long as it works the way that it should. This might be a really gross way of doing it because usually you can just hold down the button. All right, I have an idea. I think it's within reach. It is. Be right back. Just had to see how far my little MIDI keyboard was. The cable's still here. That's good. Hopefully everything works the way that it should. So I can get rid of that now. I'm gonna mute this. Hit record. Perfect. Tasty. So this saves a lot of time when you're putting some patterns in here. So put that up an octave. All right, so what I can do super energy efficiently. So what I want to do now is we'll just pick the sound of our shakers here. Let's go back to our pattern here. Where's our audition? Is that still here? Again, I have my like shaker and tambourine sounds. Let's go with banana shaker. Banana shaker's pretty good. Now, what I normally do is just use 2 of these. Well, actually, I usually use 4 in total, but see if we can get both of these. Like the jar of pills. Everyone likes the jar of pills. That's a good one. Patterson says, when are you going to produce some good music, Mike? I don't know. Whenever I'm done stuff, I just put it out into the universe. As they say, art only abandoned, never finished. Now, I want to bring these up because I kind of want the accent on the ones, even though there's nothing going on there. Bring that up. I don't mind that. I want to try this apple here, though. Or does it not let me bring the apple in? I think the people want the apple. If the people want the apple, the people are wrong. Let's go back to this. All right, I think we can roll with this. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to solo this still. So I'm just going to hit record and then the F button. I'm not liking the accent that's in there anymore, but we can fix that in a second. So I'm just going to bring this over and we'll just use the trimmer tool. We'll just make this 4 bars for now. And then that way we can kind of loop this and listen. So because this is MIDI, we can make changes to it as it's going. Patterson says, never seen a vampire red keyboard. Patterson, there's a whole world out there. There's a whole world outside the internet. Don says, what fruit would you like? My favorite one, I don't think it's here because I think it's in with the drum stuff, but there's this lemon. And the lemon sounds amazing. It's the smoothest of the citrus family when it comes to percussion. I'm just going to, look at our levels down here. Turn that side up a little bit. And I do want to take the accents off. I don't think we need them. We still want, there we go. One of the producers I worked with, he did not like, I don't want to say the H word, because it's a strong word, but he did not like accents on percussion at all. And it was funny because I would be doing the percussion on records and he'd be like, don't put the accent on the 1s and the 3s, or 2 and the 4, sorry. Although the record was kind of a 1 and 3 accent style record. So, but kind of picked that from him. Okay. So We talked about our TAMs, but let's call this shakers because this is definitely shakers right now. So we'll call it shakers. And because it's MIDI, I like to just put a little underscore at the beginning. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this channel. We've done so much hard work on this. And we're going to copy everything over. So this instrument's playing in the background. Now, if everything works out, where is it? There it is. All right, so we can call this one TAMs. I feel like some of my demos on here, it's a cross between how to do something and how to remember how to do something. So we have our shakers here. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to shimmer. Okay. I think I like that one. And let's go over here and see what we can get on that one too. I think of that one. I think that's the business. Hopefully it's not screaming loud on your end. There is reverb on here. I'm going to turn that off. So I don't think we need that. Same thing with the shakers. I think we can turn the reverb off on that. That's what the people want, and I side with the people most of the time. Okay, so we've added our shakers and tambourines in. Now, what we can do here, because we just have 4 bar loops going on. And the way this song kind of works, because it's all in 16 bar chunks, we could probably just rip this through a lot of it. So we're just kind of pasting this in here. All right, moment of truth. Put that in the timestamps when I ever get around to that. Groups, we're going to call this percussion. Time is it? Oh, we're still good. So this is just MIDI. And we want to put these at bus 1 and 2 because it's still part of our drums family here. So we have control over this now. So let's just hit play on here. So a little bit of shaky shakes on there. A little bit of glue. See, I miss it when it's gone. Pro Tools, let me down. And then we don't need it here, so we can highlight this section and just hit Command M, I do believe, and mute it. This second verse, we can probably mute it there too. We can just kind of mix and match what we need. But I think it's going to add some sauce to it. Okay, tambourines, we don't need those there. Pro Tools. Just hang in there, Pro Tools. So we don't need the tambourine on the chorus, we can put on the tags. So without, and then with. Okay, and there's a little drop there before we go into that tag. mute that one. Maybe bring that a little bit further. Just mashing the keyboard here. So again, without, and then with. I always find you just need a little bit of it until you miss it when it's gone. Don says, I want this track when you're finished with it. I need to just put stuff up on SoundCloud or something. People want to hear it. Because I know that it's only going to be what it is coming through the system. Don says, Mike, you make everything sound 1,000% better. I appreciate it. I don't know if that's true, but I appreciate it. No, these tracks like this are awesome. They're fun to work on. And they're fun to just kind of fart around with, so. Okay, we need our tambourines here. I know I said we didn't, but we do. I know I said we didn't need a reverb on it, but just not their reverb. And I know someone at home's like, you're adding reverb without listening in the track. What are you doing? It's fine. And that's not what I wanted. That's not doing anything either. That's fine. One of the things we can do here too, actually, I'm not going to do it yet. Okay, so we got that part out of the way. What time is it? It's 8:29. Paris says sometimes he does, especially that. Oh, Evans Blue is the Village. There was a Village working on that. It's myself, Trevor Kustiak produced it. Mark McAway of Moist, the guitar player of Moist. Yes, he mixed the first Evans Blue record, and second one, Mark mixed a lot of that, and then Michael Brower mixed one or two of the songs. Michael Barbiero, I think, mixed one of the songs, and Nick Gazowski mixed one of the songs. Fun records, though. It's fun. I made 2 Evans Blue records and then like 9 Parabol records. It's a lot of records with Kev. Where are we? We are here. Okay, there's one more thing I wanted to do with the Shimmer Shake Strike while we're here, so I'm going to duplicate this one more time. Again, I have templates for all these, so I can rip through this. I can rip through this in like 15, 20 minutes and not pay attention that much. So one of the things I like to add too, that I think can help the chorus sometimes, is our tam hit. Maybe you can guess what that is. Maybe you want to leave it to be a surprise. So I'm gonna delete all of this. Correction, I'm gonna delete most of this. Like it just sounds like a bucket of stuff when you highlight all that. Okay, what we're going to do is just have this one note down here. And I'm going to hit B to break those. Highlight that section. I'm going to bash around and get that. So we're just having this one quarter note here. It's one quarter note. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to hit record on this. One of these trying to not knock anything off here. One of these will be just the hit of the tambourine. I think I like that. I think it's the B up there, so. There's easier ways to do this, but this is the way we're doing it today. So that's our little hit there. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to highlight this section and take it out of record. I just need to put it in record so I could hear what was going on. Patterson says, Moist, who's that? There was some pretty big bands in the 90s in Canada. Moist was one of those bands. A band called was Silver and I think Push. Those are the big songs. But yeah, Mark did one heck of a job on that first EB record because I know what I gave him and I know what he gave me back. And he did a fantastic job. Okay, I'm gonna swap out. Okay, that sounded pretty good. Okay, so we have our hit here. And it's super loud. Does that one not want to have a hit? Never use these ones over here. No, not feeling those at all. I can buy that. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take that. We can go back to clips here because we know what we're working with here. So you see that it is... Got confused for a second. Started thinking about Final Cut Pro. Just going to break that and get rid of this on either side because we don't need it. Now, what we're going to do here. Now, this is where we can get a little bit quicker with things. I know this is probably going at my speed, which is kind of a mixture of tortoise and hare. We're going to go to the first tag over here. Okay, stay with me for a second here. Okay, I want to change that. So we're just going to put those underneath the snares. Maybe the plural of snare is actually snare. Could you please pass me those 3 snare? Sometimes I like putting the little bit of a tambourine. I feel like I need that under every single snare in the chorus or in this tag section. That's what I was feeling. Because the snares are pretty on, like, in time. Sometimes I like to just throw a whole bunch of reverb on it too. So let's go back to our percussion here. I'm going to right click on that group, modify. Tam hit's already there. Fantastic. Thank you, Pro Tools. So without the percussion, and then with it. Without. So it just adds that glue. And we'll get rid of that one at the end. And then times like this too, you can listen through and just maybe add some of these tambourine hits. Sometimes it just adds a little bit. Don's saying 1,000% better. That is an increase. Feels like inflation right now, the cost of a used vehicle. Maybe we'll put this on every other snare over here. Just on the 4s. Just copy that. We can get rid of that one over there. Don says gas price when I filled up today. I'm going to have to fill up tomorrow. It is 208.9. It's so high they don't even have a number 2 to put in front of all of it. Lovely wife was like, no, it's 108.9. I'm like, no, it is not. It is not true. Drop those two. So that's what we're trying to do there. Just add a little bit of movement, bring in this percussion stuff in here. One of the things I often I like relay to the students. I don't want to say teach the students because I kind of don't teach that. I just say, hey, this is one of the things that I try to do. It's the concept of the same but different. We have intro, verse, chorus, tag, verse, chorus, tag. So if we can just do something a little bit different, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We don't need a 6-sided wheel after we have our round wheel or vice versa. But just adding a little something to it. So when we come out of this first chorus, we go to this tag, we add this tambourine in the second verse, we add those tambourine hits on just on the 4 or just every other bar. And then we bring in just on the 4 of the second chorus, and then we're back. So just that little bit of variation can go a long way with making it sound more interesting to the listener or the dancer or the both. So we'll rock it through the chorus, and then what we'll do, without even listening, I'm just going on feel right now. When we get to the outro, we'll switch it back to just on the 4. And when I mean that, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. When we get to the chorus now, we're going to do it on the 2 and the 4. And when we get to this outro, we'll be just on the 4. We'll hear that sounds because it might bring the energy down a little bit too. Because maybe even, again, I'm just going by feel. I'm just flying blind right now. Just going to mute the tambourine on the outro. So coming out of this kind of little bridgey breakdown part. I love this tune. I think it's so much fun and it sounds good. You can kind of mix this with a hockey stick. Not a Maple Leafs hockey stick, but a hockey stick. Edmonton or Calgary one. That effect on the vocals growing on me now too. So I feel that the energy come down a little bit on the outro. So we could do our big fade out there. Let's go back to the beginning of the track. Just have a listen here. Whoa, too fast. All right, that brought us to the edge of the world. What happened to this marker? Pro Tools. Patterson says, why doesn't it read in US form? What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Patterson? Oh, it's called start, but I couldn't see it because intro is in the way. Interesting. Why are you arranging it like that? What is it? Sort by time. There we go. Because on my live drum stuff, yeah, anyways. Okay, let's have a listen. I don't want our tams there. I do want our shakers there. I do like our shakers. We can be into the first verse by now. Don says that the bass with those drums, sweet beats. Well, that's the thing. Like it's 4 notes. The song's 4 notes and 4 on the floor drums.
Just give in, there's no getting away from me. Such a perfect night, sailing to my life. Take my hand, there's nothing you can say to me.
It's just cool. There's lots of cool stuff in this track. We bring back our shaker, brings the energy up a little bit. Our sitar, didn't forget. I'm buying it. I'm breaking a rule. I'm messing with the threshold of the mix bus compressor. This far into it, but I don't care. I never know where anything is. I'm surprised it didn't crap out there. Where is it? That one? It is that one. This one's kind of fun. I don't know what this actually means, and sometimes I look at that and I'm just like, I feel like this curve here tells me I'm not doing a good job, but it sounds better to me, so I just kind of go with it. Patterson says, guess what? I don't know, Patterson. Got some news. Congrats on the news. Don says, you can break all the rules, Mike. Cool with me. Sounds, I just try to make it sound good. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna need to hop out of here for a second. Okay. I'm feeling that. It's moving the speakers over here. Lovely wife's gonna be like, were you downstairs dancing again? I'm like, no, it wasn't. And I have proof that wasn't. No, the bass, what I wanted to check was the kick drum to make sure it's kind of moving air. So I needed to turn it up. And then also I hadn't done any of my cuts on my main mix bus over here. Because to me, it can make a big difference. I want to bring that hi-hat down. I don't think we need the effects on that section. So let's turn it off. It's the delays, so we're just going to mute it there. And we'll just highlight this. Haphazardly, we'll just mute that. But what we can do there too is let's crank the reverb. Can take some of the top end off of that. I am feeling that. I'm feeling it like right here in the top of my teeth and then under my eyes, the way the low end is. Again, the kick and snare, that's what I was trying to do. So this is where we could get fadeness out. So this is what I was talking about. Did they change the sound? They did. Okay, so it's not me. I don't like that. I like a lot of things. Contrary to popular opinion, I do like a lot of things, but I don't like them changing over to that fuzzy bass at the end. Okay, we're gonna need to do some surgery on that. So we'll just grab ourselves, I think it's 4 bars. If I could count, 8 bars. So what we can do is just grab the 16 bars and then we should be able to just paste that over. I want to keep it smooth. And that's what the children need. Don says, I need to be near your NS10s then, Mike, because I'm not feeling it quite like that. Oh, you just got to turn it up. That's the thing. Like when low end moves air, it's so much more fun. That being said, it's an important note to make. What you hear isn't always what everybody else hears. That's why we listen on a bunch of different speakers. But it can sound loud, but to turn it up and move air, you have to turn your speakers up. I'm glad we changed that bass there. Okay, what I wanted to do was talk about this fade out here. So we have everything. What time is it? I have 8 minutes, 7 minutes and 45 seconds. The way that we routed all of this, I'm feeling good about a lot of this. And on Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when I get back to this, we routed all this through an aux. So this main mix, because normally I put my main mix bus stuff on our master fader here, but we've routed all of that through an aux so that we can leave this open. Reason being, if we fade this out, our compression or saturation, everything's going to be affected by this. So we wanted to route that through this aux. So when we get up here, we can do our fade out and not affect what's happening with our compression and whatnot here. So let's have a listen. So we'll let this kind of vibe for a second. High risk maneuver. And we'll just kind of figure out where we want this to start to fade out. It's going to be messy. We're just fading it out. People are still dancing. Just using up the rest of the vinyl here. I think Don knows it's going to happen though. So we fade it out. You can always fade back in. So we have our fade out and our fade back in. Because everyone loves that. Where was it? Oh, because before there were some issues we were having with automation. It wasn't working. If this is suspended, you can't do any automation. So that's what was going on. I figured that out because the school computers had the same issue. And I'm like, okay, we have to fix this today. But yeah, you just go into Window. If your automation's not working properly in Pro Tools, go to Window, Automation, and make sure Suspend is not selected. If it is, you shall not be automating. Don says, always fade back in. Exactly. Exactly. So we kind of started around here, faded it out here, faded it back in here. So that was just using automation on it. But I don't want to ruin it because that automation was good. But also what we could do, just for demonstration purposes, we could just use the grabber tool. This is what I usually do. I just put a little node on there. And then you can just draw this stuff in pretty efficiently if that's what you want it to do. So usually with my fade out, I just figure out where I want it to stop, and then I'll just put a marker in where I want the song to be over, and then I'll put my fade in after that way. But I think that's looking pretty good. And again, because we want our compression stuff to still be compressing. So we'll start fading that out, but our compressor's still doing what it needs to do. So our mix is still glued together the way that it should be. The way nature intended. Just need to move my keyboard before something bad happens, in case I do something silly. And then again, our fade back in here for the children. Everyone loves that. What I did not get to today, I'm trying to keep these an hour and a half, 2 hours. What I did not get today, I didn't do any of the throws on the vocals, so I'll do that next time. And then we'll chop this song up a little bit, see if we can cut some time down on. Overall, I'm feeling really good about where it's sitting, so. And again, I would listen in the morning just to make sure that nothing else is jumping out at me, sort of thing. Sometimes, especially if you add any new stuff, especially with things like the shakers, tambourines, you add that stuff in, and the next morning you're like, whoa, that's super loud. Or you add some reverb to something, you're like, whoa, that's super loud. So I highly recommend your critical listening in the morning to make any other moves that you want to, but always hits a point where you need to just let it go. And send it off to the client or send it off to the band or whatever, the artist. So make peace with it. And I always say, do your best. Well, I'm just saying this right now, actually. I'm just making this up on the fly, but do your best, but make your best kind of like 90% of where it's probably going to get to. Leave some space for other people to have their input, because that's important, to not have your ego get in the way. That being said, if you're getting paid $8,000 a song, don't check your ego at the door. You're doing something right. So I think that's where we're at today. I'm going to do the thing. I have a hotkey for this. I'm going to say reference. What's today? 16th. I was calling today the 15th. All day of May 01. So we've got ourselves into a part where we think this mix is sounding good. It's just mix prep until we get here. Clear all that stuff. Shift Command U, Shift Command B to get there. To check one thing. I don't know what Patterson's talking about in the chat. I think Don's cracking up over there. That's all good. As always, if your stuff doesn't exist in two places, it doesn't exist at all. I've already did the Shift Command U, Shift Command B to get rid of unused clips. Let's go over to save copy in audio files. Our temp folder here. Capital BU as a backup. Hit the button. Pro Tools. Now it's copying everything over the way that it should. I'm feeling pretty good about how things worked out today. Some days you don't know what you're going to get into, and I like this song a lot. I wanted to try to do it justice. It's feeling pretty good over here. It's feeling nice and loud over here. Loving the vocal on this still. I feel like I didn't give that much time to the vocal, but the vocal just works. And it's one of those things when elements are good, you don't need to fuss around with them too much. I'm liking the effects we added. Yeah. Overall, I'm thinking it sounded pretty good. Patton saying you're always getting silly. I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on in the chat right now. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this evening working away on this. I like this again. The song is called Siren. The group, it's a duo called Georgia Wonder. They have a few songs up. I'm curious to hear some more of it. Katie says, thanks for the stream. Have a great night. Have a great night, Katie. Oh, Katie. Eclipse. We couldn't see much of it last night. Thanks for the heads up on that again, but we couldn't see much of it because it was a bit cloudy here. So, but that being said, it was a beautiful evening. So sat in the backyard for a bit. It was nice. Don says, thanks, Mike. Had fun. Great track. Don's got laughy tears going on right now. I need to go over the chat. I feel like the chat was happening. It's a happening chat today. Katie says, I was awesome from where I was. Again, it's one of those things. I guess another 7 years. Maybe it'll be somewhere a little bit closer. Patterson says, $8,000 a song. Is that what you charge? For some people, Patterson. For some people, $8,000. For some people, it's on the house. All right. That's my time for tonight. Okay, sorry, Katie says, a great experience. Me and my 5-year-old watched it. That's awesome. That's some quality time. Quality time with the fam. All right, that's my time before I just keep rambling here. Thanks again for watching. My name is Mike Langford. It's been Let's Mix Live, where I live stream some mix sessions, start to finish, showing you some production techniques to hopefully help you make your music and your production and your mixes sound better. Again, I'm not here to show you what you should do, but what you could do. There's lots of different ways to make your music sound great. I will be back here on Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good week. If you're an NHL fan, hopefully your team's still going. All right. Talk to you later.